Okay, I wanted to do a little 4th of July carving, and I saw this on a fellow carver's Facebook page. His name is Mike Bailey, and so I give him credit for this design. I don't know who designed it, but I'm just saying I'll give him credit because it was on his Facebook and he carved one of them. But I thought this would be a nice little carving to be due for 4th of July. And it's a little eagle, and then you have a little... Anyway, I'll show you how to do it. Now, this is 1-inch basswood. I think probably it was done out of 3/4-inch basswood, but I didn't have any 3/4. All I had was 1 inch, so I'm going to go ahead and do it out of 1-inch basswood. I'll just bring it down a little bit more in that sense. Okay. Now, this is about, now this 1 inch, it may be a little bit bigger than what you want to do, but this is almost 3 inches high, and if you want along, almost 3 inches wide, in other words, in there. So, what we're going to do, it's very, very simple. This is a little bar coming across here. We're going to take our knife as we begin to work on it, and we're going to take our knife and we're going to just follow this along here and then come back here and begin to cut down on this eagle head. Okay? And I'm just going to come here, and now we're outside. There's doves. You can hear the dove just going crazy. So what you do is you start bringing this down. Is what you do. Pretty simple. Just start bringing this down because this is going to extend out from here. I just start using my knife. See, as we begin to, we have to use the push cut a lot in here, kind of get that down. Like I said, this is 1-inch basswood, so this is going to extend out a little bit further than. Okay, so first thing you do is you want to go ahead and get this down a little bit. Okay. All right. Now, let's go ahead and take and sort of round off this area in here. Okay? And kind of bring this all down a little bit. So I say 3/4 is probably be better for this, but we can bring it down to 3/4 if we have to. And as we do that, okay, we're going to bring that up like that. Now, when we get to the beak here, the beak is going to come in a little bit. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and make our cut around here on this beak, okay? And then the beak is going to come in just like this, okay? We're going to go around that beak there, and we're going to do like that, okay? Okay, and then we're going to bring that beak down. Just sort of bring that beak in there like an eagle. And we're going to bring this all down. Okay, we're just going to cut this down, and then we'll design it once we get kind of just like that. See? And we're going to continue to bring this all down. Okay. Come up underneath here. Now, of course, the beak is got to be brought down a lot because it's until we can kind of design it. Like I said, 3/4 would have been much better. I just didn't have any 3/4 basswood. Now, that don't mean you have to send me a bunch of 3/4 basswood, folks. I just don't have any right now. Someone had sent me some 1-inch. See what we're doing here? See that? And we're going to kind of do this. All I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down to, if it was like 3/4. Finally, we get a pretty day in Texas. It's been now, and then we can kind of come over on this side just a little bit, and we can kind of just round this, not a whole lot in the back side, okay? We're going to round this off a little bit in here, okay? Just give this kind of a, because we want this to come all the way over here, just like this. Just like that. You want that to come over like that, all right? And then we can bring this down. Same thing here. We want that to come over all the way. And let me be real careful here because the grain changes in that area. Okay, just sort of like that. And we want to bring all this down. Okay? And we'll bring a little bit of this in here. And we start kind of rounding this off up in here. And we kind of do this number where where that part of the beak is. And we continue to take this off in here. Now, of course, from this is going to go like this, in other words, and come back like that. In other words, that beak is going to come back like that, as we do. But let's thin this beak up even some more. And thin this up some more. We're getting this thing rounded off now pretty good. This is a very simple project, not difficult at all. In other words, let's come in here. Let's give a little up in here. Just kind of round this off a little bit. Take a little bit off in here. And a little bit off up in here. course, the main thing up in here, we want to make sure that that is shaped, see, like that to the roundness that we want. We have to take a little bit more. This is usually when you get a piece of 1-inch basswood, it's 3/4 by this, but this was I think he had it cut specifically from Heinkel, and so when they cut 1 inch, they cut 1 inch. They're very productive about that. They're okay. Now here we sort of have this look that we want, and let's sort of bring this down a little bit too. Now we're going to bring that area down just a little bit. It's going to come above this, but we don't want it to come too much. Because this is going to sort of curve around here just like this. Come down here, and we want it to curve a little bit. There we go. Okay. I'm sorry. Excuse me. So we're going to kind of do this number. Make this rise up in here. Get this kind of a angle here. You'll have to forgive me. Last week I was very, very ill. I have gastritis real bad. If any of you know what a gastritis is, it's an inflammation of the stomach. And I was having a cough. So I decided to go to the doctor, and he gave me a Z-Pack, some antibiotics to take. And I gladly took them. What I forgot about was that my gastritis, when you take all the bacteria, which those antibiotics do, out of your stomach, then it flames that up. And I thought I was going to die. So gastritis is very painful. It's like colitis, if you have colitis or IBS or whatever it is. Very, very painful. So until I could get my bacteria back into my stomach, I was in a lot of pain last week. Okay. Now we're kind of getting it down now where we kind of get in a kind of do this. There we go. Where this kind of goes down like this. This kind of goes down like that. Okay, see that? Okay, now what we want to do, excuse me, what we want to do is we want to work on our thing here. So what we're going to do, we're going to come down here. This is the hook on the thing, and then you have the mouth coming out like this, in other words. So what we want to do is we want to cut down like here, and we want to come in here and take that out like this, okay? And we want to come over here, and we want to do the same thing, okay? And we want to come in here and take that down, and slowly just begin to take that portion out of there. Not the whole portion, but I mean, I'm talking about take some of that out of there just like that, see? that actually comes to a just like that. And we're going to bring that down even more. See, then we can kind of bring this down in here, thin that up. See that? Where it brings, and we want to come up here. And we want to just sort of do the same thing here. You want to call this where this comes. In fact, you want it to do this. You want to come up here where it comes like this, see? Where it basically, from both sides, you want to be real careful in here because you're making the, there you go, see? Like that. But we want to come on this side a little bit, and we want to cut this a little bit deeper. See that? Where it sort of gives it that there. Look like that. And then we're going to bring this down a little bit in here. Like that. See how it kind of but you want this to kind of, so you want to be careful because this is very, here we go. See like that? See how it comes down? And so we want to, now I'm going to kind of go this way with the, and get this kind of situated here. Okay, now we're going to come and make this even a little bit deeper in here, okay? We'll come here. We're going to make that even deeper. See where that kind of, that whole bill kind of comes to a point. So you don't want to take a whole lot off in this area at first. Okay, see how that does? How the bill comes down like that. And we want to, let's go ahead and cut this a little bit more like that. Where it even, there we go. Where it even comes down even more. Okay? Alright, you see that? And let's thin this up just a little bit in here. So we want to be careful. We'll come back on both sides. We want to be careful not to take too much. There, now, there we go. We don't take too much off at one time. We want to still, where the beak comes down there like that, okay? And then we want to just cut it in there too, okay? All right, now, what you want to do is from this, oh golly, I'm sorry. From this point on, where the beak comes, you want to make the mouth in here, okay? You want to kind of make the mouth in there. Now you can use a V-tool. You can use a V-tool, or you can use a, now I'm going to cut this away just a little bit in here, okay? You can use a V-tool, or you can use a, I'm just going to use a knife, okay? And then I'll cut that. Okay, just sort of like that. Let's bring this down in here. Just a little bit. Okay. I want to kind of cut this. There we go. Like that. Bring this down a little bit in here. A little bit more. Where it stands out a little bit more. right? Okay. And we just kind of bring this on here like this. Okay, just like that. I'll trim that just in there a little bit, coming up. There we go. Okay. All right, now, what we want to do up here is we want to draw kind of a little line that comes up here like this, okay? There's a little line like that. And then we're going to put a little eye in here, just like this, okay? We're going to cut that, and then we're going to put a little eye in there, just like that. So what we want to do in this situation is we want to follow the lines. We want to come here, and then we want to come to the eye and come down just like this, and come around just like that, and then do this. And we want to cut we want to cut this like this, okay? And we want to cut the eye out. We can come here. There we go. And we want to remove this in here. We want to use the tip of our knife. There we go. A little bit deeper. Now, we want to come here. We'll take a little bit more off in here, all right? And we want to take a little bit more off in here, okay? And we kind of make sure that that eye is just like that, is round. And then we want to come in here, and we want to go ahead and go across here and bring that eye down just a little bit from the lid, okay? We just want to bring that eye down where that lid comes open. And if we have to bring this up a little bit more, we will, a little deeper. But do you see that? There's your eye in there.